Now 17 minutes past 6. Terry Walters was 17 minutes past 6 is the time. A sub-postmaster who lost his redundancy money in the Post Office Horizon IT scandal died 3 weeks ago before receiving his compensation.
Terry Walters was part of the group led by Sir Alan Bates, who took the Post Office to court, helping to expose the scandal. Now, the latest figures show that in the scheme created to provide redress for those people, 227 of 492 eligible claimants are still waiting for full and final compensation. After receiving a compensation offer just days after Terry's death, his widow Janet has spoken for the first time to call for the process to be speeded up. Ahead of Terry's funeral today, she's been sharing their story with our correspondent, Emma Simpson.
You've got some lovely cards here, haven't you?
Janet and Terry Walters were married for 48 years, through the best and worst of times.
Terry, after his stroke, getting better.
He'd suffered years of ill health after losing his post office, livelihood and home.
He sent me a Valentine card.
Oh.
I wrote it for him because he'd gone by then.
And just a few days later came his first offer of compensation, a year after his claim was submitted.
Terry got his first offer of compensation after he died?
Yes. Yeah.
And what would it have meant to him to have that offer in full before he died?
Well, I think it would have been a great relief to him, you know, to know that he'd actually achieved what we've been hoping to achieve all these years.
How much of a difference would it have made to Terry to have this whole thing settled?
We could have done things we had wanted to do all these years, buy a proper home, perhaps treat ourselves to a nice holiday, go out and do things, you know, more than what we had done. But I think the last 18 months, when he had his stroke, there wasn't a lot you could have done with him like that.
About a year after losing his branch, Terry became one of the first sub-postmasters to join forces with campaigner and fellow victim Sir Alan Bates, helping to expose the scandal.
All these years we've kept quiet about everything that happened to us, and to have that, a big institution such as the Post Office, come along and accuse you of doing something, it was devastating really, and humiliating.
But Janet, aged 68, is talking about it now. Terry's offer was far less than they'd hoped for.
I thought, enough's enough now. You know, we've got to do something about it positive. And that's why I decided to speak out about it, really, and for others in the groups, so people have a chance to move on with their lives. I mean, 17 years out of somebody's life is a long time. Get the money out, get it paid, say amen to it, and it's finished.
The government said it was sorry to hear about Terry's death and pointed out that it had doubled the amount of payments paid out since the election. For Janet, an interim sum has helped, but she says she won't scatter Terry's ashes until he's got his compensation in full. Emma Simpson, BBC News, Wilmslow.